Welcome to an emergency episode of Just One More Topic, featured by Chompy. I am Tridrachius.
I'm Tavorius. Sorry, Chompy
yeah.
had something to say.
We're on location at All Your Base, new side.
Yes, thank you, PJ Gamers. PJGamersLLC.com, Facebook.com/PJGamersLLC.
Man, we need a
Telephones. Get on to the topic.
All right. Well, earlier today, man, we flew through that. Earlier today, there was a news report talking about how American politicians are wanting to revisit the regulating violent video games topic that got thrown out last year because it was stupid. Well, now that the Sandy Hook thing has, that I think lead FBI agent came out reporting saying that they found documentation of Excel spreadsheets that what's-his-face put together to track not only previous serial killers but also the weapons they used, how many people they killed, what was estimated as the bullets being used, to then score them so that he could then put up a high score. And because of that, now politicians are wanting to revisit the topic about, hey, let's regulate their video games.
Because first of all, high scores and point systems did not exist before video games. Remember that.
Yeah, it's still a fairly new thing. Something in the, I think Pong, not only launched the video game industry, but also created scoring.
The way we use numbers to rate who wins.
Yeah.
Man, okay, just real quick, because I know you're ranting, and I got to get this out of the way. This is not a new thing by any means. Every medium goes through it. Movies, television. Man, when I was growing up, it was all about the violent effects of television on our youth.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. I mean, take your pick.
Tips.
Kiss, Beavis and Butthead, Elvis. I mean, it was all... People need something to cry about. But, I mean, realistically, we have guys on our side. Don't immediately go, oh, the government is stupid. I mean, you look back at PIPA. And I know that wasn't video game related, but it would have had a huge impact on us. 26 senators opposed it, including one of our Republicans from Oklahoma. So, before you start throwing around liberal and Democrat, remember most of these news stories are just BS meant to conjure ratings or to make you ignore the crap that's actually going on. What was it you were saying? Yeah, sure, it's okay to do this to video games, but what about when...
in Colorado, which I think one of the senators actually from Colorado is for, gaming, not...
Oh, yeah, he's a huge, ardent, supporter of what it can actually do.
And if you know who he is, we tried to find who he was. But
I forgot his name.
If you're able to find him, or if you know who we're talking about, post him in the comments so we can kind of have a discussion.
And apparently we can't spare more than 45 seconds for Google searching before doing one of these, so...
Well, we're busy people. We're writing reviews, we're doing all kinds of stuff. We're busy...
Back to the.
So, in Colorado, you guys remember and gals remember The Dark Knight Rises. James Holmes walking into a movie theater dressed up as Joker, shot up the place. He had C4 strapped all throughout his apartment, or some apartment, that if someone opened the door, it would blow up the entire complex. It took them a day or 2 days to figure out how to disarm it. And I don't think they actually were able to. I'm not sure. It's been a long time, but I think
it was
a mess. Just recent. And what happened there?
Ratings for the movie went through the roof.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one thing we can take from this. Go ahead, put the focus on it, because all you're really doing is giving free advertising to games. Because guess what? You start talking about the heinous, violent acts. People that play games get that. It's fun. The violent aspect of it is not the only aspect for gaming, not anymore. But there is a certain, devilish satisfaction. It's entertaining nonetheless. And if you start going, but in this game you could, it's like what they did to San Andreas with the whole hot coffee thing. Man, sales for that game, already a Grand Theft Auto title, went through the roof, and it is still legend to this day. I mean, everybody complains. The new GTA 5, is it going to be San Andreas? Am I going to see CJ? That only helped.
Yeah, and San Andreas was the first. It wasn't bundled. It wasn't heavily. It was just Grand Theft Auto, and it sold 20 million copies, largely on the PlayStation 2 alone. So it's definitely a big title that just, due to a lot of controversy, made it sell through the roof. But yeah, it's just video games are not the first to have to deal with this. We're just the recent, the new kids on the block, even though it's been around for almost 40-something years.
Yeah, the big point about this is go do your research, go get involved. This should enrage you because the gaming as a community is just now getting a voice where we can speak up for our medium as an art form. So realistically, this should encourage you because most of us don't care. So they can just whip at us all day long and there's nothing for it. So change that. Get a voice. Grow together as a community. This was just a real quick emergency. Hey, we got to tell you about this because, frankly, it's bullshit.
Yeah, and it's just, without a voice to counter or to combat what's going on, they're just going to keep being able to do what they want to do. And, I mean, yeah.
So look it up. Any bill like this comes up that you know is full of it, fight it, folks. Just fight it.
So, I'm Tridrachius. This is a shorter episode, but yeah, emergency. I'm Tridrachius.
I'm Tiborius. We'll be back at you soon with a full-length episode, getting back to lighter stuff.
Yeah. Sawing people in half, and the lancers, and the things with the locusts and the
good point,
acid
or just, you know what, enjoying a good story.
Yeah, a good story.
Or the ability to just have a community with your friends. There's a lot of good things. I could do a whole... Anyway.
The pros of gaming.